Well, since AAA was the only team that really repped the West this week, you're only going to hear a little bit of this song, but let's come to this one. Big Willie comes and he says he's going to be chopping down trees and he's putting me behind his woodshed, blah, 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 blah. It was never a game. I mean, hell, T.O. and Gates almost outscored his whole damn team by themselves. Let's go to fantasy reality. I mean, the reality is, the sad thing is, I got a goose egg in the lineup. 2 of my top 4 receivers are out, and I'd like to thank Sean for allowing me to take out the trash with Brandon Jackson and actually getting another legit receiver in T.O. Let's go to fantasy. Fantasy once again, that's Big Willie's hopes and dreams of ever making the playoffs in this league. I mean, he drafts a solid team, and he somehow, someway finds a way to make them suck. Well, let's get into Crooks v. DSEP. And wow, this one ends in a tie. And they say a tie is like kissing your sister. Well, T. Blake, looks like you and Erla just made out. Oof. Let's go to fantasy reality. I mean, fantasy is D-Simp's going to be able to count on Charles Woodson getting him 15 points every week. I mean, I know it seems like he does every damn week, but he can't rely on that. Let's go to reality. Reality is T. Blake makes a big trade, gets his stud quarterback, and he's out. I said last week he had a hole, and that was the hole, and he still has that hole. He's going to have to find some production out of that quarterback until Vic gets back. And we keep moving. And we got our old wily vet, the Habib's Revenge, just doing what he does, and that's just quietly go about his business and collect wins. Special Brews, not quite ready yet. Not quite ready. Let's go to fantasy reality. Fantasy is 61's going to get it done in a game like this. I mean, Brews, you gotta step your game up. You can't have goose eggs in your lineup. You got Steve Smith and Santana Moss giving you goose eggs. You got to get production out of them in the big games. Let's go to reality. Reality is this one stings twofold. I mean, this is going to have playoff implications, wild card implications late in the year. Tiebreaker number 1, Habib's Revenge. And we keep it moving as the East whoops up on the West one more again with the Seekers dominating the U. I mean, the U, judging by some of the text messages and fuck shit, fucks, damn fucker shits that I received all day, I got a feeling that he hawkstered more than just one t-shirt this Sunday. Let's go to fantasy reality. Fantasy, once again, it's a common theme with some of you boys. Fantasy is you can't score 43 points and expect to win, especially against a team like Heater's team that looks to be deep, running deep playoff push. I mean, 43 points, it's only going to get it done against a team like Big Willie or the Shock or the Mighty, maybe. Just joking, guys. Let's go to reality. Reality is the U's kind of lucky that Arian Foster only played half a game. I mean, the U is kind of screwed when he has to look across the field and see the starter in New York and LT churning up the yards that he drafted Sean Green to do. Well, we said that Heater only had one weakness, and that was Eli Manning. Well, welcome Big Ben back. But Heater, it's time to pull up. Get ready for this week, because this is the real deal this week. Alright, let's go Shock v. Mighty. I mean, not really much to say here. This was just a bad game. And how bad must the Central be for the Shock to win 3 straight in that division? Wow. Let's go fantasy reality. I mean, the reality of it is, and the Mighty one knows it better than anyone, you have to escape games like this. You have to sneak out a game or two that you ain't supposed to win to make it in this league, and here's one. And let's go to fantasy. I mean, fantasy is Tom Brady and Randy Moss can not hook up and this team can win. I mean, there's too many holes. I mean, he has a couple of players minus stats, period. Shock, looks like you better make a couple of moves, partner. So move on to Studs v. Rednecks. Boy, the Necks are struggling as they fail to get off the schneid again and move to 0-4. It's just not pretty in Redneck land right now. Let's go fantasy reality. I mean, reality is everybody gets to play him, guys. Only the people in the West are fortunate enough to play him twice. Let's go to fantasy. Fantasy is this team's going to lose every game. And when they finally do win 1 or 2, 3, 4, however many they win, it's going to be like losing 2 to the field. So don't take them too light. Yes, sir. All right, before we get started here, I would like to read you guys something. You know, it's the first time I've ever had to read anything on the Beatdown Award, but I'd like to read you a couple of quotes from this week's recipient. We start by, it says, 4-0 going 4-0. I don't fucking think so. A little poetry from Big Willie. We love that. AAA is going to be having a bad week, methinks. Third person. BWB is flexing on that ass. If y'all ain't seen my woodshed, you're crazy. Because it ain't nothing pretty behind it. There's a big ass... No, it's not a black tree. I read that wrong. So maybe, hey, let's start it over. I thought he said black tree. That's something. But I regress. There's a big ass tree back there. It's about to get cut down. He's a lumberjack. Yeah, baby. And I'm going to cut 40 down the size. We're magically delicious. Let's move on. I thought it was a big ass black tree back there, but it was just a big ass tree. So I halfway apologize for what I'm doing to you right now, Big Willie. But after Big Willie got done cutting, looks like he did some whittling and whittled him out a big old cock to ride. Big Willie, this is what happens when you talk a lot of cash shit and then you jump up and get beat down. Next time you're gonna jump up, just don't be the punk that jumps up and gets beat down. Come on now. Well, let's move on to why we all get here. We come in. This week's MDA. Normally, you know, you don't see anybody get the MDA for a tie. You know, because nobody likes a tie. I mean, who really likes a tie? But D-Cell got 5 points. 5-point lead going against Tynes. Everybody Tynes. And Tynes comes out, booms a field goal, cuts it to 2. And comes down and misses a 38-yarder. 38-yard field goal. That's a stretched extra point. And then only can manage 2 extra points the rest of the game for Blake to squeeze out the tie. Now, D, you know, you get Vic to go down. You get Tynes to fail miserably. I got a feeling you put in more than your share of work with some Lucky Charms with marshmallows come Sunday morning. So, congrats, D. You put in that work, and you got your reward. You are magically delicious.